Hi everybody, it's June 1st, Saturday, June 1st, 2024, and I'm on the bus coming back from Maple Ridge, BC to Coquitlam. Just had my weekly in-person Weight Watcher meeting, which went great. So just an update on our case at the Supreme Court of Canada. I've filed an application for leave to appeal the decision of the Court of Appeal, the March 28, 2024 decision dismissing my appeal of the lower court appointment of my 81-year-old nun sister, Catholic nun sister, 4,000 kilometers away in North Bay, Ontario, as the guardian of my little brother, Paul Kierans, who has Down syndrome, and I also appealed the dismissal of my petition to be appointed Paul's guardian, and I lost both of those both of those appeals at the Court of Appeal of British Columbia, and I've applied for permission to appeal those decisions to the Supreme Court of Canada in Ottawa. So all the documents that need to be filed are filed. And the gist of what I'm asking for, or I'm asking the court to find, is that the appointment of my 81-year-old nun sister in Ontario, 4,000 kilometers away in Ontario, is a breach of precedent, which states that courts should be hesitant to appoint non-residents of BC as guardians of residents of incapable adults who are residents of BC, and every single reason why that was a good precedent and should not have been broken was shown up in this case. Ms. Paul died 26 days after the decision. So when my sister was initially got her rights over my brother, she said, because she said he signed a document, like a power of attorney, appointing her his representative, and I said, I didn't even know, nobody in my family knew about the document except for his group home, L'Arche. They cooked up this document, and they say that Paul signed it. And there's no, I taught Paul the only word that he knows how to, or knew how to print. You can see I always speak of Paul in the present tense. It's so hard to believe that he died at 10:15 a.m. on April 23rd, 2024 at Burnaby General Hospital, alone from family members. All he had there was the nun and strangers from L'Arche, workers from L'Arche. So in my head, I still think of Paul as being here, and I still haven't cried. I think the reason is that my brain knows that it's not over, that I have to win at the Supreme Court of Canada. I have to set this injustice aside, and there's just no room for crying. But there's going to be one hell of a crying session once we win at the Supreme Court of Canada. So I'm just preparing for the next stage at the Supreme Court of Canada. The other parties, the government of BC said they're not going to even file a response. They're so cruel. They're so sadistic. They used your taxpayer money to fund L'Arche, L''ARCHE. That's the cult that had my brother in its thrall, and ordered my nun sister to terminate all his contact with me. Their lawyer, Tara Britnell, said to me, you're never going to see your brother again. And 588 days later, my brother was dead. Anyways, so I'm just trying to let you see that Maple Ridge is so beautiful. So I still need your help. Pray for us. Go to your temple, your synagogue, your mosque, your gurdwara, or where you're sitting right now, and just say a little prayer to God. With all of the tragedy that has happened in this case and the loss of my precious brother, I feel like I do feel that God is looking out for us. And in the end, we're going to change the law. So I want to change the law, or have the Supreme Court of Canada reiterate Paul's rights to freedom of association guaranteed by the Canadian Charter, liberty, freedom of association, and security of the person. But I want to bring Peter Falk's law to Canada. So since in the last 10 years, there's been a trend in the United States. 22 states have adopted uniform guardianship reform, which includes the prohibition of guardians from isolating and confining incapable adults from their loved ones. This happens very often, where the person who positions themselves or has the most money to hire a lawyer cuts off contact by the incapable person with their loved ones who are maybe less. I couldn't afford a lawyer. My sister is a multi-millionaire, and she has charitable tax status as a member of a religious community. So she wrote off all her legal expenses. So she was best. She had a grudge against me, and she had the resources to position herself as completely inappropriate a guardian as she was. She's only met Paul on a few occasions over the course of his life. My two other sisters and I had cared for him at our homes. But anyways, so what we're seeking to do is bring Peter Falk's law. Peter Falk was an actor who starred in the detective series Columbo for many years, and he had a stroke in his 70s, and his second wife cut off contact, did not let his adult children, his adult daughters, visit him after he had a stroke. And his adult daughter, Catherine Falk, started the Peter Falk Foundation, and they were working for guardianship reform across the United States. And they brought Peter Falk's law into 22 states so far, where the guardian is prohibited from isolating and confining the incapable adult from their other loved ones, which happens all the time. Very often the person best situated to get themselves guardianship has ulterior motives and has an axe to grind, and that's what happened in this case. My sister had a grudge against me, and she used my little brother, my relationship with my little brother, as a battering ram to hurt me and cut off his contact with me. There was medical evidence that it was in his best interest to associate with me. There was no medical evidence or of any sort that it was not in his best interest to associate with me. So that's it for today. There's I'm just waiting for the responses. The government of BC didn't bother to even file a response at the Supreme Court of Canada, which makes me believe they've been told, that the Attorney General of BC has been told, don't bother, because we're going to dismiss her application for leave to appeal. It worries me. And L'Arche didn't bother to file a response either. But I have no control over that. I have no control over them. I just have to put my one foot in front of the other and do the next right thing for my little brother. I miss him terribly. I just feel like my arm has been cut off. Here we're going over the Pitt River right now. Anyways, pray for us, contribute to our GoFundMe account. All you have to do, is click on the link in the description box for this video and contribute. You just throw in a few bucks here or there. Every little bit helps. I'm working on this. I spend, 2 to 7 hours every day working on this, trying to make the world a better place for vulnerable people and their caregivers and their loved ones. So pray for us. Click on the GoFundMe link and contribute to our GoFundMe account, and copy and paste the email that I'll put in the description box for this video and send it to the government decision makers who are in a position to change the law and to change the treatment of incapable people and their loved ones. Thank you, everybody. Paul, I miss you so much, dear. I hope you're having fun in heaven. Goodbye, everybody.